Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan, was recently on the Bulls Talk podcast. He weighed in with his personal pick and kind of a controversial one. He said Olajuwon was his second best player. That is an interesting pick for sure. I don't think many people are going to put Dream there as best overall, but where does Dream fit into that conversation?
I presume young Jordan's choice is generational, maybe his second favorite player. There's no bona fide case for Dream as the second greatest player in NBA history, but he does walk with the gods. Where to pinpoint him, I think you could argue probably as high as 8. No way any lower than 12 or 13. But among centers, and see, you're casting me in a spot now where all it takes is one knucklehead to say, he's denigrating Dream. No, he's not. If you're in competition with the 3 greatest of all time and you finish 4th, it doesn't mean you stink. To me, Olajuwon, he's right on that edge of top 10. So Marcus Jordan, you might have good taste, and stylistically, Olajuwon is the greatest center of all time. Basketball as ballet, the diversity of the skills. Heck, if Dream came along in this generation, he'd probably have developed a decent three-point shot. But Kareem, still the most unstoppable shot in the history of the NBA. It comes down to Kareem or Wilt for the greatest centers. Dream has a case for third over Shaq, even over Bill Russell. But Hakeem Olajuwon's not the second greatest player in the history of the NBA. Brandon, you're mean for making me say that so clearly.
I'm sorry. Well, you may not like this one any better because I don't know that there's a clear answer to it. But with Michael Jordan, his influence on the game was pervasive. You saw so many guys copy what he did, his style, even down to the tongue wag, where you saw clones. I mean, no greater, copy of Michael Jordan was Kobe Bryant, right? So, and you see his influence in so many different shooting guards style even today. But what does it say about the uniqueness of Dream that there weren't Olajuwon clones like there were Jordan?
His skill set, the most diverse of any center in the NBA. And of course, the way the game is played now, would Dream be given a chance to flourish and dominate with that style of play, or would be just throw it into him and then immediately and always be looking to kick out first for the three-point shooter? But Kareem, we never saw a skyhook after him. We see no one in today's game remotely as physically dominating as Wilt or Shaq. They're unique snowflakes with individual characteristics that no other players could truly match. And I'll revert to, if you're sitting at the head table, dining with the basketball gods, you're great. Can you specifically quantify 7th greatest versus 9th greatest or 11th greatest? You're among the greatest, especially when you add in perimeter-oriented first players versus back to the basket, low post guys from those eras. But Olajuwon is an all-time great. Anyone who doesn't have him on that list isn't worthy of discussion. It does not mean he was as great as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, though perhaps more aesthetically pleasing than Kareem.
I know Marcus's comments were about being era, specific, and he said that he thought that LeBron, he needed to see the entirety of LeBron's career before he could slot him at number 2. But, the individual accolades have already added up for LeBron. So is this really just kind of swipe at him?
Michael, as great as he was, and as grand as the legacy is and always will be, also always very conscious of polishing the apple and burnishing that image. So spawn of Michael with a tactical play to subtly knock LeBron down a peg? I guess I wouldn't rule it out, but to your point, LeBron is 35. LeBron also came straight out of high school. He's played more NBA basketball than Michael did, than virtually every other player in the history of the game has already. So if he adds another 4 or 5 years, that'll be very rich and tasty gravy. But if Jordan had LeBron in the rearview mirror and LeBron never played another second, LeBron's pretty tight in that rearview mirror, and I don't think there's a list out there that would have LeBron lower than Dream or Larry Bird or Magic at this point. It's Michael, LeBron. I think you'd actually find more people, maybe the younger generation, thinking, hey, maybe it's Michael and LeBron rather than Michael then LeBron, and then it would be LeBron below Dream or anybody else.